Good afternoon, everybody. Afternoon. Do you know what? This is healing. Being together in this environment, this energy with friends of like minds and being able to communicate on that soul level and talk about things. So, yeah, absolutely wonderful.
Can you excuse me a minute?
No, I won't. Sit back down immediately. I'm going to export her somewhere. I want a large postage stamp. Welcome to our healing hour, second one of the month. As you're aware, we're just trialling something here at Paul Church. The 1 a month healing hour with different guest speakers coming in worked very well. Obviously, there is a lot of demand to get hold of people able to hold their energy in an atmosphere like this. So part of our healing team's development, looking at one in particular, will be to come in and take the second healing hour of the month. And you, yes, exactly. It's all part of the development. If you don't want to do it, you don't feel unable to do it, absolutely fine. I'm not going to make anybody do what they really, really feel is beyond them at this time. But it just brings in that energy, unites us all. Paul Church has always been a very big church for healing. We've always had a very strong healing team here. It's gone through different phases, different highs, different lows. But do you know what? In this new world that we find ourselves in, the church registered healers have done an amazing job, continue to grow. We've had some exceptional people join us and bring in their own talent, skills and presence, and are just so blessed. So, yes, Michael?
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, don't carry on. We're a family. You're not interrupting.
Some people may think I'm a complete idiot, but what are you supposed to feel after you've had a healing session?
Wonderful.
Are you supposed to have, is there a feeling of euphoria? I mean, what are you supposed to physically feel?
Absolutely brilliant question, Michael. Can I revisit it? I'm just going to deliver the opening prayer just to unite us and all the worlds involved in today's energy. Don't apologise. Every question is valid. All right? Absolutely beautiful. So if we could just join in just for this short time, please. Let's put aside all the trials, tribulations that we face in our daily life, whether within our own lives or exerted upon us by the press and the environment in which we find ourselves now. Leave all that to one side. For now is your time. Now is your time to open up your energies to the beautiful souls that surround us here within the church, both incarnate and discarnate, drawing close in that universal expression of love, the art of healing. And we'd ask too that the church healers today imbue themselves with their connection, with their guides, their inspirers, and that each act of healing be a lesson, each communication with spirit be a joy, and each time of giving being of receiving also. So we now place this short time in the tender loving care of those dear ones eager now to work with us. And we ask that all things be of the highest and the best that we can achieve at this time. Amen. Michael, brilliant question. What are you supposed to feel? Everybody will feel something different. Everybody will have their own sensation. As with evidential mediums, some evidential mediums do not bring through messages for some people. It's just the way the energies are. I always say everything in life is like keys on a piano. Sometimes the notes don't go together. There's nothing wrong with the notes, but they just don't go together. Absolutely fine. The purpose of spiritual healing is to bring about a relief where possible in the physical condition. I just had a lovely recount there from a lady The last time she visited us, had healing, had no pain for the following 4 days. How joyous is that? Spiritual healing, what we're talking about today, works on many levels. I'll recount an old story, and if you've heard it before, I do apologise. My mum and dad were very good healers, and a lot of their work would be going out to visit people either in their homes or in hospital. One of the church members was in hospital, and it was end of life care, and they went up every night, 7 nights on the trot, dispensing healing to this lady. The 8th night, when they turned up, they were greeted by the son, and bless his little heart, he just lost his mum. Yeah, and no offence to the chap, he was quite vocal on a lot of good your healing did, my mum's dead. All right, and you can get that. You can totally understand that energy. The nurse on duty overheard this and said to Mum and Dad, I need to talk to you. That lady had pancreatic cancer, and that is one of the worst cancers for pain. That lady didn't even have so much as an aspirin in her time in here. Healing mediums that we have, not healers, you are healing mediums, and I speak to you all who work in this field. You are mediums for the spirit world. I, as an evidential medium, have that wonderful thing, I get instant gratification. Do you know this person? Yes or no? I get that response. Yes, happy days. No, I need to go back and work with it. Healing mediums have that greatest gift of patience and trust. We would all like, wouldn't we, to see somebody throw away their crutch and go running out the door, doing a high kick where that was not possible. As people, as earthly beings, as sentient beings here and now clothed in flesh, we want that. Would I be right in saying that? Yeah. Yeah? So, yes, we would love that. However, each and every individual that we work with has their own life path, has their own progression, their own world that you are dealing with. And we can't exert our will upon that world, but we can work in harmony and unity with that person's energy, the people around them energy. We all have a life plan. It's often said that when your time is called, your time is called. That ties in part and parcel to our understanding that we are here for an allotted time that we have actually partly planned. When a healer works with somebody, they're not working just on the physical. They're working on many different levels, because we have there is a lot of debate about how many bodies we have. I'll work with a few of them. So we have our physical body, this lump of lard, this saggy old thing. So we have our physical body. We have our mental body, because we all know, and especially nowadays, mental welfare, mental state of being. If you are disturbed and upset and perturbed in your mental welfare, nothing is going to go right, is it? Everything is wrong. So that is another body to work with. We have our etheric body, which is our energy field around us. If there is imbalance within there, that will reflect upon all the other bodies. As to with our spiritual body, you know, if we're struggling with something in our lives for development, or we wish progression, it may be denied us at that time because of whatever reason we're not ready. So all these bodies are interlinked. If you take that basis and go out around the globe, we're all interlinked. So I'm sure you all remember the first few weeks of the lockdown, the first lockdown. We were all interlinked, but more to our conscious mind than our unconscious mind. You take it, loo rolls. I know. Where did anybody see anything about there's going to be a shortage of loo rolls? It wasn't there. But that psychic network had opened up, and we were picking up thoughts that are going out into the ether. The ether is the energy field that surrounds all things, so be it us as individuals, us as a nation, and particularly at this time, us as a global community. We're all linked in with that time, and because we were forced into a situation none of us were prepared for, none of us understood, none of us were ready for, our thoughts went out. And of course, to ask is to receive. So as we put those thoughts out, we were receiving all these different impressions. With our work here at Paul Church online, I was astounded by, people said to me, what you've put on has been wonderful. And I always say, I didn't put anything on, they did. I just came down and it just happened. But we were talking to people from around the world, but we were all saying the same thing, which I thought was beautiful to show that connectivity. So you can understand then we are assailed by our own lack of physical well-being, our own lack of maybe mental welfare, mental issues that we need to deal with, our own energies, allowing our energies to be down, to be negative, but also influenced by the world. How many people don't watch the news? Put your hands up. See, quite a few. Now and then, yeah. See, a lot of people, because I found this in the first lockdown, after about 2 weeks of watching the morning news, I had to turn it off because I was having bad days. And the minute I turned it off, my days got better. Because that was becoming part of my energy. Yeah. We all need to make our own decisions. We're all over 21, aren't we? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Simon. I do apologise. That's all right. But we all need to make our own way in the world, and we all need to work together, and we all need to bring in that unity and harmony. So getting back to your original question about what are we supposed to feel, I think, Sue, what was your expression from Circle? Expect nothing and be ready for everything?
Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah. So expect nothing, but be ready for anything. Yeah. All right? A lot of disease that plagues humanity and the world in general is in the word dis-ease, because one of the real sound basics of spirituality, spiritualism, spiritual way of life is all about balance. And I think you'll agree that pre this time, you see, a lot of people say that COVID has caused all this. I say, actually, our way of life pre-COVID heralded in everything that came about, because we were so disconnected. We were not connected with people. One of my pet upsets is when you see parents with children and it's like that. I'm like, put the phone away and talk to your kiddies. What is wrong with that? Yeah. We were so disconnected, and we are governed, no matter how much we think we are, we are so civilized and we are so superior, we're not. We are governed by spiritual laws, the spiritual laws and the natural laws. And where we have become so disconnected, so physical orientated, so self-orientated, that these times and other times are a reaction to that. As I said, we tend to react now to what has been put upon us. What was put upon us was a reaction to behaviours before then, is my firm belief. And if you disagree, absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Why am I here? I just dropped right out of my energy there. Oh yeah, well, always Simon. So yeah, spiritual healing will work on a level. All right, and it can be a very cumulative thing. Don't expect a quick fix. But if for that 5 minutes, if you can find a little bit of peace, a little bit of balance, sense the energies coming to you, that is healing. And just understand that healing has been received on a level. If it's not immediately manifest in the physical, it doesn't mean it's not working. All right, spirit know us better than we know ourselves. When I work as a healer, I have different colour schemes coming in, and I know by the colour coming in of which body that I am working with, because that physical illness could be a reaction to another body's distress. So, as I say, expect nothing, but be ready for everything. But if you can go out of here and just think, do you know what, I do feel better. That is what healing is about. Thank you for that. Lovely question. Anybody else, any questions about healing? Yes, young Ted. So he's under 21.
I take up the point of not watching the news.
Yeah.
Because if, like me, you lived through that war, there was no television, very few papers, and people lived from news bulletin to news bulletin to what was going on, and listening for government announcements of what was going to happen. So you got into the state, 1 o'clock, must see what's on,
Yeah.
and on went the wireless.
Yeah.
So it's something that's been with me all my life. I can't get rid of the habit.
That's absolutely fine. I'm not decrying, anybody. It's all about personal responsibility.
Yes.
Yeah. If people wish to watch it, great. If people don't wish to watch it, great. All right. We know what is around us. We know the restrictions placed upon us. We know the risks. And as sentient beings and as adults, we do need to make our own mind up on
Yes.
how we deal with the world. And the thing is respecting each other as well. If you want to do this, great. If you don't want to do that, great. If you want to tell somebody else they should be doing what you're doing, then I don't think that's great.
No, I wouldn't tell other people.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
And that
quite
is
personal.
exactly the energy. If we could have more of that in our society, more of that in our civilization, it would take the sting out of social media. I only am on social media on behalf of the church. Some of the things coming out I just look at and go, don't bite, don't bite, don't bite. Because it's there. We understand ourselves.
Yes.
We know ourselves. And to be happy with ourselves is something that does... Thank you. That is something that can be enhanced through a more spiritual aspect of life, of understanding. You know what, this old saying about we live forever is sometimes treated quite glibly. When you actually think about that, when you actually start to comprehend that you live forever, you will go through many, 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 many different incarnations on many different levels, on many different planes of existence. But the you sat here today, each and every one of you will live forever. And when you really start to understand that and gain that comprehension, you know what? It does two things. It makes this life even more valuable because you know that you're here for a reason. You know you've come here to learn things. You're being given the tools on how to handle things and how to handle people and how to handle ourselves. But it also makes a lot of the things in this world, actually, you can see them for their true worth. And some of the things that we get so het up about are just so trivial. They are so petty. They are so small. You know, we live this life to be here of service where we can to others. Some people we cannot get along with. Absolutely fine. Be honest about it. Take my love, take my healing. I can't be in your energy at this time. Absolutely fine. I can really help you. I really relate to what you're saying. Yeah, come on in, and for whatever time we are together, we can achieve whatever we can. But it is all about expanding our consciousness, expanding our philosophies. Never, 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 see, I'm emphasising a point there. Never, never forgetting that all these things, everything comes from God. We take a little bit distracted at times. We wander off the path a little bit. It all comes from one source. And to the one source it will return. So whatever your understanding of God is, does not matter. I always say, I don't care if you think the universe is run by a giant tree frog. As long as you believe in something. That is the main thing. Everything comes from God. Everything in our lives, what we see as tribulations, the last few months I've had quite a lot come into my life, and it is very easy to let them go right over you and push you down. And it's very hard, but it is doable to turn around and go, do you know what, this is a lesson, or this is a chance to show my gratitude for whatever, whoever in my, no, I don't do that, whatever, whoever in my life, and be thankful for that time and not grieve and mourn. It's not a spin doctor thing, because it comes from the heart. It's not trying, dress something up as we're seeing in the press and the news at the moment. Dress something up, dress up sow's ear into a silk purse or whatever. It's not that, because it's on that much deeper level. It's on that energy level of knowing what is right and what is wrong for you at this time, and keeping that balance and that harmony within yourselves. Anybody else got any questions? Yes, darling. Yeah, that's a very, very good observation. Thank you, Sylvia. Do you know what? All the time I've worked with Spirit, I've never got anything I wanted, but I've always got what I needed in my life, and that is very true. If we all got what we wanted when we wanted it, we'd all be lottery millionaires by now. We'd all have our yachts in the south of France. We would all have the perfect partner, the wonderful house, and all that. But if you look in your lives now, you've got what you need. We've got a roof over our head. We've got food in the cupboards. We've got access to be able to celebrate and join in with our understanding with like-minded people in centres and churches like this, not just here in Poole, across the land and going out further afield. So we always get what we need. And the same with healing as well. And as I touched on earlier there, we may have this physical echo of a deeper need for healing. If we live on our nerves, then we shouldn't be surprised if the body starts failing us. So what do you treat? Do you treat the symptom or do you treat the cause? Spirit, no. And as the healing mediums in here, you should all be aware, if somebody says, yes, I've got a very bad knee, absolutely fine, but you just ask for that healing energy to flow. We don't restrict it. It's not for us to restrict. We just ask for that healing to go where it's needed. And that you know through your own experiences that that is true. And some of us here have had that wonderful evidence. I quote you here, Ian, about your mother being able to talk again for that short time. That healing goes where it's needed. So yeah, and again, when we're working with different people, we have different feels come in. I go hot or I go cold. I know what they mean for me. I've started now asking if there is a physical condition. I would ask an expert from Spirit to step in who knows about that. And really start honing it down, how we work with Spirit. Don't just throw, oh, Spirit. So come on, Spirit, I've got an emotional need here. I need somebody who is good with their emotions to work with me at this time. Lovely tip from Roy, the animal healer. I love animal healing, and he said, well, why don't you ask a vet to step in? And when you hear it, you just think, that is so easy, and I never thought about that. And I do. If I'm working with the animals, I say, please, can I have somebody with knowledge and understanding of animals to step in? And you can feel a subtle shift in your energies. You really can. Because spiritual healing, that's what we're talking about today, you are working in partnership with the spirit world. Never, ever, ever forget that. You are not the silent partner. You are not the puppet of the spirit world. Spirit world is intelligence. We need to exercise our intelligence when we work with the spirit world to ask, to communicate. And I know somebody's going to say, I don't feel that, or I don't get that at times. Absolutely fine, they're getting it, but by keep doing it ourselves. It's like anything. Give me a piano now and you'll be lucky if you got the first 2 chords of chopsticks out of it. Hopefully in a couple of years' time I might be able to knock out a tune. Because I've learned. Because I put my mind to it. And that is the way with the healing mediums. Each and every time you work with spirit, is to keep that communication going. Not just stand there, okay, I'm an empty vessel, come and use me. Okay, I'm here to do healing. I need the people here around me that are going to do the best for this person here. And be aware, keep that conversation going with spirit. Because the more you converse with spirit, the more they will converse back with us. And trust me, in time, you will start to understand that, start to feel it, start to really just be able to stand there and let go and let God, I think is the same. Any more questions?
Just ask in that case, so I was here as well. We work with love and we work with spirit, but that also includes their families that come to help them, and the families come with love. And sometimes they'll say, help, tell them I'm here, and that message is also healing. So why do some people then condone passing on that message to loved ones who are healing them at the same time?
Because
I know, sorry, I know, there's some people expect a message, which is a reason to not give it, but then if that's from loved ones who are part of that healing journey,
yeah. Okay. Number one, if you are in the habit of passing on spirit communication while you are healing, number one, how many times do you see an evidential medium working on the platform go out into the congregation and give healing? You don't. So taking that same basis, why would we reverse that? You are there imbuing yourself in that healing energy. If there is a distinct need for communication, that will make itself known. So I don't decry giving that information over. However, the way I work with spirit, if I receive erroneous information when I'm not working in that energy, I'll go, okay, I've acknowledged that. Give me the opportunity to share it. And do you know what? 9 times out of 10, that opportunity will arise. In a conversation, they'll say afterward, oh, it's a shame because I just really needed to feel my mum around me. And so, well, actually, your mum was there. And then work as an evidential medium. But as I say, you are working, when you open yourself up as a healer, you are working in that healing meditation, that healing energy. That is your presence, that is your purpose there. If you receive, and let's be honest, open and brutal here, evidential mediumship. There is something in that title. It is not good enough to say, I've got your mother here and she's saying so and so and so and so. That is not good enough. I've got your mother here, she's 5'7", she's got blue eyes, she had white hair at the end of her days. She's talking about an Elsie connection here as well, and I know there would have been a poodle at some stage of your life. Yes, that is evidential mediumship. The same with your healing. If you're going to be a healer, be the best healer you can. If you're going to be an evidential medium, be an evidential medium. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I was just asking why some people condone it. And I know professionally you may draw the line between the two, but I mean, I know when Sylvie was having a discussion with me, she said that some people actually turn up expecting a message as part of that healing.
Yeah.
And saying no.
Yeah, no, quite right, quite right. As I say, just reverse the tables. The day you see an evidential medium halfway through their demonstration go down and start doing healing on somebody, then I will stand corrected. But until that day, I follow my belief and my understanding. We're all happy? Wonderful. Would we like a short meditation?
Yes.
Wonderful. So, get yourselves nice, I rattle on, don't I? Get yourselves nice and comfortable wherever you are. Those at home can join in too. Just gently close your eyes. And I'd like you to imagine, please, that you're in the most beautiful jungle. The life force showing from the giant fronds, the trees that tower above you. Sunlight filtered down through the branches, through the leaves. There's a slight humidity to the air. And you're walking along a path, beautifully soft with the natural moss underneath the foot. You can hear the birds, you can hear the animals in the background. And you're at one with nature. And as you progress along the path, you can start to hear running water. And as you progress further along the path, that sound starts to get louder and clearer until you come to this clearing, and it's surrounded by boulders that have been worn smooth over the years, over the millennia, by the passing of time, by the rain, by the waters, by the floods, by the many feet that have travelled this path before you. And as you take in this sight, gazing there, seeing this beautiful pool of water glistening in the sunlight, being fed by a small waterfall to one side, you know it's just right just to immerse yourself for this short time in the water Feel that life force, feel that energy, feel that healing that is imbued within this natural scene. And as you slowly lower yourself in, and just sit there for a while. There's no shock of the cold water. It's warm and tepid, and gently swirling around you. Just take in this peace. Body buoyant, being held up by the water. Sound of the jungle around. Sunlight glistening. Sound of the waterfall behind. Just feel that peace, that contentment, that oneness with nature. And now, as you feel refreshed, relaxed and revived, send out a thought of gratitude for being here in this moment, for all things that have contributed to it. And as you easily make your way out of the water, not worrying because you know your clothes will soon dry in the atmosphere you find yourself. Turn back and look at that scene. Know that pool is always there, always ready to receive you as a guest and a friend, just to uplift you, revive, and imbue you with that wonderful healing energy that flows through all life force. And gently make your way back along the path on which you first trod. Feeling the jungle now start to recede behind you. And then coming back out into the real world once more, but reinvigorated, enlivened, refreshed, and most of all, healed on the level that you need that healing on. God bless you all. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes, and always working with the state of balance, send out thoughts of gratitude for anything and everything that you receive during this time. Bless you. All back. Wonderful, wonderful. So we say farewell now to our friends online. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you received something from today's gathering of like minds. And now here physically within the church, I'd invite the healing mediums to take their stations and work their magic. Thank you.